I thought I understood Sylus's new myth story, and then I went back, reread a few scenes, followed a couple of details I brushed past the first time, and realized I missed so much. Because this myth isn't just tragic, it's not just romantic, it quietly answers questions Sylus has been asking since his very first appearance. So if you walked away feeling emotional but confused, or like something important slipped through the cracks, this video is for you. Today we're unpacking the Crimson Spirit myth, a quick summary of what actually happens, the hidden parallels the story keeps repeating, and the lore threads the game never spells out, but clearly wants us to notice. Just a reminder, this is just my interpretation, and if you see things differently, that's more than okay. This is just me sharing how the story landed for me. The story opens in Sylus, during a time when magic shaped everything. People believed fate could be rewritten if you could reach the sacred core. Every mage dreamed of it. But no one knew how to find it. Even the name feels intentional. Sacred Core. It echoes the ether cores and spatial cores we know from the main timeline, like this myth is laying groundwork rather than telling a standalone tale. And no one wanted the sacred core more than MC. She was cursed with immortality. Half of an immortal soul was sealed inside her, preventing her from ever truly resting. Desperate, MC allowed herself to be experimented on by different groups, hoping someone could break her curse. If this sounds familiar, it should. It mirrors her time at the Gaia Center in the main story, except this time she chose it. Nothing worked, so she turned to the one being everyone feared. Sylus, the Archfiend Sovereign, ruled the underworld. He had defeated every other fiend through sheer strength. Both realms knew his name, but even he carried a quiet unease. A defeated fiend once told him he was missing half of his soul. Sylus didn't know what that meant, but the thought lingered. When MC finally summoned him, they clashed immediately. She bound him using a spell linkage, forcing his obedience. We've seen this linkage before, in the main story and in Immobilized. Sylus agreed to help her reach the sacred core, casually admitting it was mostly because he was bored. He broke the spell easily, but when he tried to leave, something else pulled him back. A bond neither of them understood. MC pretended she'd used forbidden magic, but the truth was simpler and much crueler. Their souls already remembered each other. This pulls me back to the dragon myth when MC cursed Sylus's soul, which, in my opinion, implied that this myth happened after Beyond Cloudfall, the dragon myth. Sylus asks for her blood in exchange for help, finding it powerful, ancient, and uniquely hers, just like Dragon Sylus once did. They negotiate, they banter. This pattern exists in every core Sylus memory. Eventually, MC brings him to her home. And to avoid suspicion, Sylus introduces himself to the town as her husband.
It's settled then, my dearest wife.
They went to an auction to find a certain artifact, and one thing led to another, with MC finding herself dancing with Sylus. Another nod to the events in the main story, long-awaited revelry. One night, MC dreamed of a misty rose garden and a voice calling to her. At the same time, Sylus dreams of her dying. The pain shakes him even after waking. Their journey continued, and in a forest they encountered a mysterious white crow, an otherworldly creature filled with magic. Before they could investigate, rival mages ambushed them. During the battle, MC's condition acted up, which weakened her. To save her, Sylus lets her drink his blood. MC woke up in a strange place, the underworld. She had only entered it because Sylus's blood acted as a key. The white crow had followed them even there. And when Sylus realized it was a messenger of the sacred core, he named it Mephisto. We see a pipe organ here. Another recurring image, connecting to Beyond Cloudfall, Continuous Symphony, and Alternative Darkborn. As they spent more time together, their connection deepened.
Indulge yourself to your heart's content, my dearest wife.
When they eventually returned to the mortal world, they finally found the hidden path to the sacred core.
If fate demands your suffering, then I will destroy it, no matter the cost.
The journey nearly kills them. When they finally reach it, MC releases the linkage binding Sylus and steps forward alone. What she discovers is devastating. The sacred core doesn't rewrite fate. It consumes the strongest souls who reach it. Still, MC refused to surrender. Just then, the soul link on her wrist glowed, and Sylus appeared beside her. Together, they destroyed the sacred core. The cost was high. They lost their identical soul fragments, pieces of themselves that once connected them. But Sylus didn't care. All he wanted was a quiet life with her. They dreamed of that life, peaceful days, no more curses, no more running.
There's only one thing I fear. I found the person whom I want to spend the rest of my life with. Yet, I'm afraid our life together has started too late.
But with the sacred core destroyed, the world collapses into panic. They were hunted endlessly, fighting side by side for years. Eventually, their final battle came. In a quiet church, they died together. MC wakes again in the rose garden. Two identical soul figments appear. And when she reunites them, memories flood back. She realizes the truth. She carried Sylus's immortal half-soul, and he carried hers. She had cursed him to never fade. The voice in her dreams, the one calling her, had always been Sylus. She refused to forget him again. She picked up one soul figment and placed it inside herself. Sylus did the same. They drifted together through the stars, and MC worried she might lose him again. Sylus promises, no matter the world, no matter the form, he will always find her.
I will recognize you, and will be the same. Two kindred spirits.
And from there, the main story begins. If you enjoy breaking down love and deep space lore like this, subscribing helps us stay connected and makes sure you don't miss future myth discussions. Before we go further, just a reminder, these are personal theories, shared for fun and not canon. If your interpretation differs, that's completely okay. The underworld feels less like punishment and more like purgatory, a place for fractured souls. One theory I keep returning to is this. Before MC and Sylus died, their souls briefly fused again through the rose. When MC died, the petals scattered, splitting them once more. MC carried half of his soul with her, and Sylus, left fractured again, returned to the underworld. That would mean Sylus's soul was already shattered long before this myth. Possibly even before Beyond Cloudfall. That could explain why he reincarnated as a dragon with human traits, because a human fragment already existed within him. And maybe that's why he's always a fiend. Not because of what he is, but because his soul has been broken for far longer than we've seen. Sylus isn't just a dragon or an archfiend. He calls himself a fiend. In the Chinese translation, that word refers to beings that are feared and misunderstood. It fits every version of Sylus we've seen. And maybe the reason he always appears this way is because his soul has never been whole. The mist appears constantly in this myth, and it's hard to ignore that the sacred core itself exists in a desert. That made me think about other mist and desert-adjacent stories we've seen. Valley Dream Bloom, for example, where Sylus acquires the mansion by solving a riddle that involves passing through mist into another world. Or Lost Oasis, where he travels into the desert and where a story about gods is mentioned. If deserts and mist are both liminal spaces, thresholds between worlds, then maybe these locations aren't random at all. Maybe they're all connected to the same underlying mechanism, crossing realms, challenging fate, or even confronting gods themselves. It's interesting that so many of these moments orbit Sylus. MC's resurrection may not come from her ether core at all. What if it comes from the immortal soul fragment she carries? That reframes her hunger, her desire to devour Sylus. every resonance we've seen since Beyond Cloudfall? So here's the biggest what if. What if MC's ether core is Sylus's soul? And what we're witnessing now is the cost of an immortal soul trying to exist inside a mortal body. We don't have enough confirmed material yet to say anything with certainty, and that's honestly part of the magic. For now, we follow the patterns that feel intentional and wait to see where they lead. What do you think the next myth would be about? With each myth assigned a certain stalactrum color, I'm hoping we'd get at least 6 myths for each of the boys. I'm hoping to finally see some answers from their time in the arena, or even as pirates, things that MC mentioned near the end of the myth. If you're curious about how Sylus's memories, myths, and timelines connect, I've got another video waiting for you. It maps out his early story in order, so you don't have to piece it together alone.